Hey everybody, it's Scott, Simcoe Spring Service, and today we're installing a Timbrens suspension enhancement system in the back of my own personal 2013 Toyota Tundra. Now this particular kit is a TORTUN4, and it fits in 2000 to 2021 Toyota Tundras. And you can buy these online at simcoespring.com. We're going to have a listing there. You can put your year, make, and model, it'll pop up, or you can type in the part number, it'll show. So this particular suspension kit actually ends in 2021 because in 2022 they came out with coil springs. So here's the picture here, and the part number is TORTRDR for the new Toyota Tundras. Now they're going to have coil springs. We're also going to have a listing for heavy duty coils up for those as well, because it's going to be a popular vehicle that's going to need a little bit of assistance with the suspension, because the coil springs are great for ride. They're decent for towing, but they're not phenomenal. So if you're looking for an alternative, there's a couple options for you. So one of the reasons why I'm actually installing the Timbrens in my truck is I actually already have Timbrens on the front because I haul a snow plow throughout the winter. It plows all my yard and stuff like that. It's my work truck. I specifically chose Timbrens because I like it for when I hook on my plow. My plow weighs 1,300 pounds. That's a lot of weight for the front end of a pickup truck. I put the Timbrens in there to kind of accommodate for that weight in the winter time, but I also want to drive it like a normal pickup truck in the summertime when there's no weight on it. So it's kind of like there when you need it, and then when you take your load off, it disengages up off of the Timbrens and you can just drive it like a normal vehicle. The only time I really notice it is when I hit, like I said, train tracks or a big speed bump or something like that. Then you can feel the impact on the rubber, and you can feel like a bounce to it. But other than that, it rides great. I love it. I'm very happy with them. I actually installed them in 2013, and I'll show you a little video here real quick of what they still look like after being in there for a little over 10 years. They work pretty good. I've had them in the front of this truck for 11 years, since 2013. So I'll show you what they look like right now after 11 years of use, and I'm still content with them. I've never even looked at them really, so we'll go take a look at them today and see what they look like. So there you go. You can see they replaced the little bump stops, and these ones sit on them all the time, but just barely. You can see a little gap there. I never notice them when I'm driving. And then there's the other one. You can see right there, Timbren Canada. It's hard to read, but yeah, in there for 11 years and still riding good. So why am I installing them on the back? Once again, I don't want to ruin my ride. It's a regular cab long box. It's a very light pickup truck. It hauls a lot of weight. We tow trailers around the yard and stuff like that. I use it for bringing customers' trailers in so I can work on them, things like that. I'll throw ridiculous amounts of weight in it for a short period of time, but when I take the weight out, I want to just drive like normal. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So on this particular vehicle, because it's over 10 years old, I am definitely going to be replacing the U-bolts on this. I recommend, if you do take the vehicle apart and you're putting these Timbrens in, you do have to disassemble the U-bolts, take it apart. I would highly recommend that you replace the U-bolts. And I will have a listing down below and on our website for the U-bolts. It's going to be listed under GMC pickup truck U-bolt. It's the same U-bolt. What we're going to do is we're going to actually measure the U-bolt. So here's your U-bolt rod. We're going to measure it from underneath here to the end. This one's 7.5 inches long, and that's the U-bolt that I'm going to use on my pickup truck. Measure yours before you order and get the right one, because all U-bolt sales are final. The nice thing about our selector guide, I'll show it right here, is you can order whatever length that you want. So if you got a lift block in your Tundra, no big deal. Just measure your U-bolt and you can order the correct one for your truck. So now I'll show you the installation process. It's pretty quick. You take the U-bolts off, you assemble the Timbren onto the spring, put the U-bolts back on, or put a fresh set of U-bolts, which I recommend, and torque it up. Now, torque specs on these U-bolts are anywhere from 90 to 130 foot-pounds. Depends how much lubrication's on the U-bolt. If it's a dry fit, you can run it up to about 120 to 130 foot-pounds of torque. If you're putting any kind of lubrication on there, whether that's like a gear oil or like a light oil, or if you put never sees on it, it changes the torque specs on these U-bolts. So the more lubrication you put on there and the slipperier the lubrication, the lower the torque specs. So that's why there's such a large range in there. So what I recommend people do is torque them up to the lighter setting. So start at 90 foot-pounds and then work your way up to 130, and you'll know when it stops torquing. Okay, so here's our kit. Here's your Timbren rubber bump stop, and this is going to be replacing the upper U-bolt plate that's on the spring right now currently. And we just got the bolt them together. There's a nut welded on the inside. So just got to find the right size socket and an extension, and you can tighten it. So we're just going to pre-make these as kits, and then we'll bring it over to the truck and install them. Right. So I usually use your shallow socket, so when I put it up like that, the bolt doesn't fall all the way down inside of it. And then kind of get the washer that's in there lined up to the hole, guided in. Hopefully you're lucky and you get it in the first try or second try. There you go, it sticks out a little bit. Snug it up until you can feel it tighten. Yeah, it's not going any more than that. Pretty simple. Sometimes if it falls down in there, you can stick like a little nut in there, prevent it from falling down inside your socket. The nut will act like a little spacer. Allows you to cheat a little bit. There you go, feel it catch. It's a lock nut inside of there, so there's no Loctite required or anything. Just snug her up good and tight and you're good to go. Et voila, super easy. So now we can get rid of all this. We're done with this. The only thing we're gonna need now is the U-bolts that we already got pre-made. And we're just gonna buzz off the old U-bolts. Take the top plate out and slam these babies in there. Got this little beast here. You're good there?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to take this set apart. It's pretty simple. You take the U-bolts off, take the bump stop off. We're going to use the 19mm socket to be able to remove the U-bolts. And then when we get to put our new ones on, we're going to use a 7/8 because they're not metric. So there we go. Got about an inch and a half of clearance at the top, which is about right. So when I put that much load in, it'll come down and sit and it won't squat anymore. And it'll be riding on the rubbers. Got our fresh U-bolts in there, evenly tightened, and we're good to go. That's it. That's probably one of the simpler installs. As long as you can get the U-bolts off. If you have to, you can cut them. And like I said, I'll put down in the description down below, I'll put a link to where you can get the U-bolts, so you can get them right off our website at simcoespring.com. You can get kits right off our website at simcoespring.com. And if you have the newer model of Tundra with the coil springs, I'll also put a link down in the description down below for the heavy duty coil springs and the Timbrens as well for you. So yeah, they work pretty good. I've had them in the front of this truck for 11 years, since 2013. So I'll show you what they look like right now after 11 years of use, and I'm still content with them. I've never even looked at them really, so we'll go take a look at them today and see what they look like. So there you go. You can see they replaced the little bump stops, and these ones sit on them all the time, but just barely. You can see a little gap there. I never notice them when I'm driving. And then there's the other one. You can see right there, Timbren Canada. It's hard to read, but yeah, in there for 11 years and still riding good. So yeah, these also have a lifetime warranty on them too, which is pretty cool, because if I ever have any issues, if they break and fall off or whatever, I can just get another set. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's Timbrens installed in 2013. So yeah, that's Timbrens installed in a 2013 Toyota Tundra, and now we'll go hook onto that trailer and bring it inside. All right, take care, have a good day, and I'll catch you next time.